Welcome to this thrilling show. Today, we'll discuss two best friends' unexpected reunion, a greeting that could ignite a wild journey of friendship and rebirth. Samara and Maybelle sat at another table. Seeing Mammy down, Zenly switched to detective mode and asked suddenly. Mammy was shocked. She had thought in this rebooted world, only she was the protagonist, others mere NPC. The truth was astounding. She didn't know it was the same dimension with other reincarnators. Mammy said, "I'm on my fourth." "How about you?" Zenly inquired. "I'm on my fifth round." It turns out that Zenly had been suspecting Mammy for quite some time. What a truly loyal detective she is. Mammy's grades were mediocre each round, while Xiaoyi she suddenly turned into a genius, which was big news. What's even more interesting is that in previous rounds, you were best brothers with Summer and Maybelle, while Xiaoyi she was practically a stranger, quite thought-provoking. Since you knew all along, why didn't you tell me sooner? If I got it wrong, yeah, I'd think I'm crazy. It's okay if we're not best friends. You could just give me a hand signal. For instance, if this is your fifth round, simply show me 5 fingers. Wouldn't that make everything clear? Zenly then shared her shocking secret with Mammy. In my rebirths, I've been working hard to save Summer and Maybelle. In my first round, I was a total slacker and couldn't get into college, so I ended up in a trade school. Fortunately, I had you guys as my close friends. We were like a seamless escape room team growing up. One day, Summer and Maybelle's plane crashed abroad after being hit by satellite debris, a real-life loss. We were both in deep sorrow for a long time, and I died at 62. How old did you make it? No clue. Then I went to the reincarnation office and kicked off my second life, determined to save my 2 friends. Originally, I wanted to tell them directly that I was taking that flight, but disaster would still strike. To save the passengers aboard, I decided to become a pilot and change the flight path for some major comma points. But becoming a pilot isn't easy. I had to start exercising in elementary school, study like crazy, and become the star genius everyone admired. But the cost was losing you 3 besties. I tried to get close but felt the coolness. When you got in that accident, I was so guilt-ridden I nearly broke down. Because I failed to get on that flight, the plane had a disaster, and I kicked the bucket before I hit 40. In my third round, I became a pilot, but right when you were on the brink of an accident, you safely avoided it. But just a few days later, you got hit by a car. I kept wondering if you were reincarnated too. In my 4th round, I became a pilot again but didn't expect to crash and burn at only 30. I inquired at the front desk, and to my surprise, the answer was that I was most prone to accidents between the ages of 30 and 40. I never expected another chance. The current 5th round and my mission is to save Summer and Maybelle. Even though time is running out, I've already laid a solid foundation. It's time for a temporary farewell. Once the plane lands smoothly, we'll go find them. We've made a pact to live this life happily, stay in touch more often, ta-ta for the moment. However, a month later, Mammy saw a news article about an international flight disaster and immediately thought of Zenly. But didn't she say it would occur in a year? She immediately called Zenly, only to hear a dead phone line. That night, Mammy stayed awake all night long, constantly dialing the phone, while Zenly had permanently turned off her phone so as not to make her worry. What was meant to be a joyful reunion turned into 3 funerals as Mammy strolled past the childhood bridge entrance. She paused for a moment to reflect, having lived through 4 lifetimes, yet still confronting loneliness all by herself. In the following years, Mammy could only distract herself with research. This year, she's 39. If she can just survive this year, her chances of meeting an untimely end will drop dramatically. But today, as she went home, she found the reincarnation office still gleaming brightly. Sorry, Mammy wasn't as thrilled as expected. She hesitated at the reincarnation door. Are all of my memories truly going to disappear without a trace? Will my parents, friends, and all those beautiful moments in life simply be reset to zero? All these years I've been grinding for good karma, and I've barely enjoyed any of it. Mammy suddenly turned and asked the front desk, "Can I restart?" "Sure, but we will remind you during your last chance." "This is your final chance to reboot your life. Last chance, huh?" Mammy smiled, feeling relieved, as she pushed the door open and stepped into her fifth life. This time, she wouldn't grind for karma, but would enjoy her life and continue being besties with Maybell and Jenny. Fate gave her a huge surprise. Jenny actually had a chance to reboot too. This was also her last round. As first officer, she successfully boarded a plane and asked the captain to change the flight path. But the captain was a stubborn one, thinking she, as a newbie, knew nothing, and guess what? Another disaster struck. This time, as long as I become the captain, we'll be fine. Mammy's gonna be a pilot too, sharing the pressure with Jenny. Once they both become captain and co-pilot, they can ensure everything goes smoothly.